Hey, what's up everybody? How you doing? If you are in the market or looking for a backup or a rear view camera solution for your RV, whether that's a Class A, a Class C, or a travel trailer like what we have, stick around. I've got something you might want to consider. I'm Robert Anthony.
I'm Joelle Anthony.
This is Watson. In 2020, we felt God's call in our lives to do something incredibly radical.
In 2023, we sold our flower shop, our home, just about everything we owned, and purchased our Winnebago Flex RV.
This began our trek into the vast unknown. Our mission is to take you along, showing you things you otherwise may never be able to see.
We would be so thankful to have you follow along and become part of our adventures.
Now, let's get to today's video. So welcome back everybody. It's been a few videos since our Winnebago Wednesday final video where we listed the trailer for sale, but I actually have a few more videos. We still have the Winnebago, not for long, but today I want to talk to you about backup camera solutions. So what I have here is I have the Haloview BT7 Touch camera. Originally, Haloview had sent me the BT11, which is a rear view mirror camera mount, and it's a great concept, but it wasn't going to work for me because I drive a Toyota Tundra and my rear view mirror is basically a computer screen. My rear view mirror provides my backup camera for my Tundra as well as a bunch of other different informational data that it will feed to me as I'm driving, and I can't have that covered up. So Haloview was gracious enough to send me BT7 Touch, which is a great camera. I am really happy with this camera thus far, and I want to go over a little bit about it, how you're supposed to use it and what you're supposed to do, and give you my final assessment at the end of the video. On top of that, there's going to be a link in the description below to this particular camera. I will earn a small commission on it, but you will also get savings from Haloview if you order through that link. Not a huge savings, but every little bit helps. So Haloview did send me this camera at no charge. So the video is, I guess, technically sponsored. They wanted me to see what I thought about the camera, and this came at a great time for me because one of the things that I've been frustrated with is not being able to see behind the RV while I'm driving. So the Winnebago Micro Mini, as do most modern day RVs, Class A's, Class C's, it came pre-wired for a Furrion backup camera. Now, in this process, I already had the ability to hook this on. They have instructions in the box as far as how to deal with it if you don't, but in my case, I did. So what's in the box? Well, of course, you're going to have your Haloview camera. This is a 7.5-inch LED 1080p screen. It comes with the antennas and every cable that you could possibly want to make your camera work. You're going to have a couple of different mounts. This is a mount, suction cup it to the windshield, I guess, if that's where you want to put it. They have an identical mount to this that on the bottom of the mount, they installed a double-sided circle tape. It was sticky. Now, that was not sticky enough. I had to actually peel that off because that's the mount that I chose to use. And I had to peel that off and I put on the 3M, the double-sided 3M, I can't think of the name of it. I'll put it in here when I look it up and figure out what it is, but that's the tape that I ultimately used to hook that to my dash. You have antenna. Of course, you're going to have your backup camera. You're going to have the mounting along with the rubber seal to make sure that you have a watertight connection. And then in the bottom, you're going to have various cables. They send you with a cigarette lighter adapter, should you want to use it to power the camera. You've got various adapter cables that you will be using, should you need to, as well as the wiring up, should you need to wire it in directly to your system. Everything that you need is provided in the box. They make the installation process quite simple, I do have to say. With the Winnebago Micro Mini Flex, as well as other RV models from what I understand, most of the backup cameras are wired into the taillight system. So in order to get power to the backup camera, you have to turn your taillights on, and that then sends the signal wirelessly. Now this is a Wi-Fi system, it is not Bluetooth. It works on the Wi-Fi signal from the antenna to the camera to the antenna to the dash mount unit. The installation was piece of cake on the camera. It just took me probably 20 minutes to pull the camera faceplate off for the pre-installed access portal for the camera. And it didn't take much to put the new camera in, to wire it up, get it hooked up, get it functional. Camera has to be angled just the right angle, and they give you that information in the instruction manual. The screen is great. I love this screen. This screen is heavy duty. It is robust. I mean, it is not cheap. This is built well. I am very impressed with this screen. I really like it. As far as the quality and the color of the screen goes, it's great. The monitor, the screen, is a 1080p screen in really robust colors. So I really appreciate that. Being 7.5 inches wide, it's very easy to see inside the rig. Some of the other functions that the system has is it has 4 or 5 channels. So if there's interference that you're dealing with, you can switch channels and be operating on a different Wi-Fi channel. Another feature that I really appreciate is its DVR functionality. The monitor, the home base, has a slot for a micro SD card, and it is constantly recording. So I have a front dash cam in the truck that I installed, and I really appreciate having that from a safety standpoint. Now having this rear view or this backup camera on the RV itself, I'm getting a pretty wide angle view of what's going on behind me, and I've got a recording going on all the time. So should anything happen with regard to an accident or an unfortunate event, I've got video both front and back now that is being recorded, and I really, really like that function. I think that's worth the price of the camera as far as I'm concerned. The screen on the inside at the home base has a nighttime feature, so it dims down at night. It's not as bright. That's really a nice feature to have. And there's a lot of functionality on the home screen. You can adjust the brightness of the camera, you can adjust the color, you can adjust the contrast, you can mute sounds if there are sounds on it, notifications if there are notifications on it, you can mute them. That's also a handy feature. You can really customize your viewing experience on your camera. It includes the ability to be able to flip up and down and left and right, the mirroring of the camera. When I installed the camera, when it came, it was reversing the view that I was seeing behind me, so I had to flip it that way to make it right, so that left was left and right was right, driver was driver, passenger was passenger. That's a functionality that they offer in there. And again, you can really work and fine-tune what this screen will do as far as what the camera is displaying to you. I would say the only downside to this unit that I have is the fact that there is some pixelation with this unit every so often, depending on where I'm at. I don't know if the rock formations have something to do with it or what's impeding the signal, but the camera itself has a pretty short antenna that comes from the factory. And you'll see on my rig here that the antenna sits well below the top of the roof line. Now, Haloview in the instruction manual has an option or a suggestion, if this is the case, to buy their 10M or their 12M extension cable, giving you the ability to move the antenna from the camera closer to the front of the rig or up above the roof line at the very minimum. In my case, that would be something that I would have to do. They show you an example of the antenna being above the roof line. So if your mount is going to be below the roof line, you'll want to make sure that you have that accounted for, because you may get the same pixelation. I believe that with getting that antenna up above the roof line and a better line of sight to the vehicle, that problem is going to be resolved and I won't have that issue anymore. I can almost assure you that that's the case. So overall, I'm very pleased with this. Again, I want to thank Haloview for sending it to me and offering me the opportunity to review this and put it on my rig. This has been something that I've wanted to do for a long time. I just haven't been able to convince myself to pull the trigger. I think this is a worthy upgrade. I think that that's something that you should consider if you're pulling a trailer or you have a larger rig, to be able to see behind yourself if you don't have one already installed. I think it is a great safety measure that will really enhance your ability to back up in a forest like this, to be able to see the trees and what's going on around you. You can see what's up above you. It's a very wide view of the camera, and I do think that it just has been a big help, and I love being able to see behind me when we're driving down the road, both in city and on the highway. That has been great upgrade that I really didn't appreciate the value in until I started using it. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit the like button. I'd love to have you as a subscriber if you haven't already subscribed, and I do appreciate being able to share these things with you as they're made available to me to be able to review and to share. As far as YouTube is concerned, this video here is the one that they think that you want to see next. This playlist here is going to be all things Winnebago, and it will ultimately move into all things RV modifications. And of course, if you click the circle, you're subscribed, and I would love to have you on board. Until next time, I'll see you. Rob out.